Chosen ones, since the dawn of written history, whispers of Hermetic wisdom have spoken of 7 seals, bound by celestial law and hidden from mortal eyes. These seals were not mere symbols. They were barriers, woven into the fabric of reality to conceal forbidden knowledge, to restrain powers that could unmake worlds. Hermeticism spoke of a singular return, one whose presence alone would be enough to fracture these ancient locks. That one is you. The emerald tablets hinted at it. The priests of Atlantis inscribed it in stone, and the sages of Egypt buried it beneath the sands. Your arrival was foreseen, mapped across the constellations, encrypted within the Fibonacci spiral of nature itself. The 7 seals, bound by cosmic law, are faltering with every step you take, with every breath you draw. Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, warned of this return, not in fear, but in anticipation. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your spirit, chosen one, mirrors the unlocking of these seals, for they are not merely physical barriers. They are reflections of consciousness, tied to the illusions of separation, deception, fear, and control. What you are about to uncover is not just prophecy, it is destiny. Each seal, when broken, reveals a truth long hidden, a power long suppressed. Yet with each truth comes a shadow, an echo of what was meant to remain unseen. The forces that concealed this knowledge will not relent, for the breaking of these seals marks the unraveling of their control. You have awakened. The 7 seals have already begun to quake, and with each revelation, the path forward grows clearer, yet more perilous. Brace yourself, for the first seal awaits. The first seal is not hidden in distant lands or buried under ancient ruins, it is within. Hermetic teachings speak of the 7 virtues as the mirrored reflections of the 7 seals. When the first seal cracks, it is not with thunder or the tearing of the earth, but with a shift in consciousness, a ripple that vibrates through your soul, igniting awareness that was once dormant. It begins with a whisper, soft, almost imperceptible, like the gentle rustling of leaves in a forgotten forest. Compassion. The first virtue awakens, spreading warmth through your veins, sharpening your senses to the suffering around you. It's as if the barriers of separation begin to dissolve, and you see through the eyes of others, feel with their hearts. This is the first crack in the seal, a breach in the illusion of disconnection. In Hermetic texts, it is written, "The universe is mental, held together by the mind of the One." As you embrace compassion, you begin to understand the oneness that Hermes spoke of. The illusion of division shatters, revealing the interconnected web that binds all living things. You feel it in your bones, the knowing that to harm another is to harm oneself, that love and mercy are not just ideals, but fundamental truths inscribed in the blueprint of existence. But the awakening of the first virtue is not without consequence. Shadows long hidden begin to stir, sensing the disruption. Ancient forces tied to the preservation of the seals awaken from their slumber. Their whispers reach out, tendrils of doubt and fear, attempting to extinguish the light now kindling within you. It is here that choice emerges. Embrace the virtue, or retreat into the familiar numbness of separation. You feel the weight of this decision, but something within you, an echo of Yeshua's words, rings true. Love your neighbor as yourself. It is not just a command, but a formula. a key to unlocking the first seal. The shadows recoil, and the whisper of compassion grows stronger, spreading through your spirit. The first seal is not broken with violence, but with understanding, with unity. And now, the path to the second seal beckons, waiting in the shadows of Hermetic wisdom. Beneath the sands of Saqqara, far from the eyes of man, lies a labyrinth untouched for millennia. Hermetic texts called it the Sanctum of Thoth, a hidden chamber said to house scrolls of forbidden wisdom. These scrolls, etched in emerald ink and preserved in crystalline glass, hold secrets that predate even the Great Pyramids. They whisper of gateways, of realms beyond the physical, and of the 7 seals that bind them. You find yourself standing before its entrance, not in the flesh, but in spirit. Your vision blurs, the world fades, and you are pulled into the ether where time and space collapse. Before you, the entrance materializes, 2 towering pillars, engraved with symbols of the Ankh and the Eye of Horus, guardians of forbidden knowledge. The gate hums with energy, vibrating with a resonance that matches the rhythm of your heartbeat. As you step forward, the glyphs illuminate, casting emerald light across the stone. You press your hand against the cool surface, and the air around you thickens. The words of Hermes echo in your mind. He who seeks the truth must first embrace the shadow. The entrance grinds open, revealing an antechamber where walls are lined with shimmering emerald tablets. At its center, a pedestal holds the scrolls of Thoth, wrapped in silk and sealed with wax bearing the sigil of the Atlantean order. The air is heavy with ancient magic, thick with the scent of myrrh and cedar. You approach, fingers trembling as you break the seal. The scrolls unravel smoothly, revealing symbols that shift and dance, rearranging themselves into words as your eyes trace their lines. Knowledge floods your mind, visions of the 7 seals, each tied to a virtue, each mirroring the consciousness of the chosen one. The first seal, compassion, you had already awakened. But the others, they awaited your touch, hidden in realms of shadow and light. Suddenly, the ground shakes. Dust rains from the ceiling, and whispers fill the chamber. Voices of those who had sought this knowledge and failed. Shadows flicker at the edges of your vision, pressing in, grasping at the light within you. The scrolls hiss and shimmer, fading back into symbols unreadable by mortal eyes. But you had seen enough. The second seal now stirs, its vibrations calling to you. The false prophet's collapse lies ahead, and with it, the unraveling of deception masked as truth. The path forward is treacherous, yet inevitable. The seal awaits its breaking. The whispers had grown louder. Across the world, voices of authority proclaimed a new order, promising salvation, unity, and enlightenment. But beneath the surface, Hermetic wisdom spoke of deception, woven with silver tongues. The first seal, the false prophet's collapse, had been cracked, and its truth began seeping through the cracks of illusion. In Hermetic lore, the false prophet is not just a person, but a spirit, a collective consciousness bound by fear and manipulation. It wears many faces, speaks many languages, and appears as light when it is darkness. Its influence is subtle, threading its way into belief systems, ideologies, and institutions. For centuries, it whispered control, binding minds to a reality that served its hidden masters. But with the first seal cracked, the illusion began to unravel. Your presence, your very existence, disrupted its hold. The Hermetic texts spoke of it. When the chosen one awakens, the veil shall tear, and the deceiver's mask will fall, and it had begun. The grand facades of false leaders began to crumble. Promises once gilded with hope now revealed their rusted cores. Secrets, long buried beneath layers of fear, clawed their way to the surface. You could feel it, a vibration humming through the air, shaking the foundations of control. The media spoke in panic, leaders clutched at power, and shadows stretched longer as if retreating from the growing light. Whispers of your arrival spread, not through words, but through resonance. People awoke from slumber, questioning the narratives, challenging the authorities they once followed blindly. But the false prophet did not fall easily. Its grip tightened, lashing out with desperation. Smoke screens of distraction, fear-mongering, and disillusionment spilled into the minds of many. Yet, the seal had cracked, and no force could undo what had been set in motion. Hermetic texts hinted at this moment. Truth, when revealed, cannot be unseen. The light once shone cannot be extinguished. You are that light, the unraveling force destined to shatter illusions. The first seal is only the beginning. The prophet's collapse is inevitable, for truth, like fire, consumes all that is false. The path forward grows darker. Ahead lies the secret chamber beneath the Sphinx, where the second seal waits, hidden from the eyes of the unworthy, guarded by secrets older than the pyramids themselves. The journey to truth is relentless. The seal awaits its shattering. Beneath the golden sands of Giza, where the shadow of the Sphinx stretches across the horizon, lies a secret untouched for millennia. Hermetic texts whispered of its existence, calling it the Hall of Records, a place where truth was hidden from those unworthy of its power. It is here, beneath the unblinking gaze of the Sphinx, that the next seal waits, guarded by forces ancient and unseen. You find yourself standing before its entrance, not by chance, but by destiny. The sands part, revealing stone steps spiraling into the earth, each etched with symbols of Thoth, the scribe of the gods. Whispers of the past drift through the air, brushing against your mind like distant echoes. Hermes had written, "To enter the Hall of Truth, one must first unmask the illusion of separation. The descent is steep, winding deeper beneath the surface, where the air grows thick with mystery and the scent of frankincense lingers. Torches burst into flame as you pass, lighting the way forward. At the end of the path, you come face to face with a stone door marked with the Eye of Horus, pulsing with faint emerald light. It recognizes you, not your face, but your essence, the chosen one. Your hand reaches out, pressing against the cool surface. Symbols flare to life, spiraling outward before the door groans and slides open, revealing the chamber. Massive pillars rise to the ceiling, inscribed with Atlantean symbols and Hermetic warnings. In the center lies a stone dais, upon which rests a crystalline orb, glowing with a soft azure light. The orb pulses, and visions flood your mind. Cities of light, pyramids capped with gold, and libraries stretching into eternity. You see the construction of the Sphinx, not by human hands, but by those who walked the earth long before recorded history. Their knowledge was vast, their understanding of the seals woven into the very architecture of the earth. But the vision shifts. You see the second seal, its chains winding around the minds of men, binding them to illusions of false power and authority. The seal is tied to deception, masked as truth, upheld by pillars of control. You understand now. To break it, the illusion must be exposed, the light of truth cast upon the shadows of manipulation. The second seal was never hidden in vaults or buried beneath temples. It was woven into the very fabric of perception. Hermetic wisdom spoke of it as the mirror of deception, a construct designed to fracture truth into 1,000 distorted reflections. It is not one lie, but many, layered upon each other to mask the light beneath. You feel its presence now, an energy thrumming through the air, flickering between moments of clarity and confusion. The Hermetic texts described it perfectly. The eyes see what the mind believes. The world you perceive is filtered through layers of conditioning, shadows cast upon the walls of your consciousness. The second seal is the architect of these illusions, binding the minds of many to narratives built on fear and control. As you step forward, the world around you shifts. Mirrors appear on either side, stretching infinitely in both directions. Each mirror reflects not just your image, but versions of reality, some shimmering with light, others cloaked in shadow. The reflections whisper, voices layered over one another, murmuring half-truths and contradictions. It is the very essence of the seal, distorting reality to obscure the path forward. But you were prepared for this. The teachings of Hermes echo in your mind. To know the truth, one must first shatter the lie. You reach out, placing your hand on the nearest mirror. It is cool to the touch, vibrating with hidden energy. Words swirl across its surface. Propaganda, fear, division, all stitched together by invisible threads. With a pulse of energy, the mirror shatters, splintering into 1,000 shards that dissolve into light. The ground beneath you trembles, and the whispers grow louder. One by one, you move through the hall of mirrors, touching each reflection and unraveling the deceptions that had bound countless souls. But the final mirror stands alone, larger, darker, pulsing with shadows that seem to cling to its surface. You approach, and the whispers turn to screams. This is the heart of the seal, the nexus of control. Your hand presses against its surface, and for a moment, resistance pushes back. Then, with a flash of light, it shatters, exploding into fragments that fade into dust. The mirrors were shattered, but the path ahead remained veiled. In the wake of the second seal's collapse, Hermetic teaching spoke of a key, an artifact not made of metal or stone, but of understanding. It was called the Hermetic key, a cipher that unlocked the 7 gates guarding the deeper truths of existence. Those who wielded it would find not just knowledge, but the power to transcend the illusions of mortality. The Hermetic texts were clear. The key is not sought, it is realized. It is forged through awakening, tempered by truth, and polished by clarity of mind. You find yourself drawn to the edge of perception, where reality thins and the veil flutters like silk in the wind. In this space between worlds, you see it, a symbol suspended in light, hovering just beyond reach. The sigil of Hermes, intertwined with ancient Atlantean glyphs, pulsing with ethereal light. As you reach out, your fingers brush against its surface, and a surge of energy floods your consciousness. Visions flash before your eyes, 7 massive gates stretching across realms, each guarded by celestial sentinels, bound by symbols and light. Their forms are majestic, towering figures clad in armor woven from the stars, their wings shimmering with the essence of creation itself. Hermetic wisdom floods your mind. 7 gates for 7 virtues, 7 seals for 7 truths. The first seal, compassion, had been awakened, and the second, deception, shattered. Now, before you lay the third gate, its surface engraved with symbols of truth and revelation. To pass through it, you must wield the Hermetic key, not in your hands, but within your spirit. A whisper from the ether drifts into your awareness. He who possesses the key is not bound by the illusions of time and space. You feel it resonate, pulsing through your veins. You step forward, and the first of the 7 gates quakes, its bindings unraveling strand by strand. A burst of light erupts from its center, revealing the path forward. The third seal, the unmasking of the Shadow Council. Beneath the veil of society, hidden from the eyes of the masses, the Shadow Council has woven its influence for centuries. Hermetic wisdom spoke of their existence, not as mere men, but as entities tied to powers long forgotten. They are the stewards of secrecy, guardians of deception, protectors of the status quo. The third seal binds their influence, concealing their presence through manipulation and fear. But now, the seal has begun to crack. Your awakening rippled through their network like a tremor, disrupting the frequencies that kept their machinations hidden. Their meetings, once obscured by layers of misdirection, now flicker in your mind's eye. You see them, cloaked in shadows, seated around a stone table inscribed with symbols of control and dominion. Their faces are shrouded, their voices whispers that ripple across consciousness, bending truth to their will. Hermetic texts had warned of them. There are those who drink from the well of secrecy, whose hands craft the illusion of choice. They are the keepers of the chains that bind perception, the architects of belief. But the third seal's fracture had cast light into their hidden sanctum, revealing threads of influence that stretched across governments, corporations, and religious institutions. You feel it, a pull toward revelation, the Hermetic key pulsing within your spirit. The air thickens as whispers of their secrets spill into your awareness. Documents hidden from history, meetings erased from record, oaths sworn in silence, all unraveling before your eyes. Their control, once absolute, now flickers with vulnerability. But the Council does not relent. With the third seal cracking, their hold tightens. They lash out with desperation, amplifying fear, spreading disillusionment, orchestrating chaos to obscure the light now flooding through the cracks. Yet their grip falters. The illusion wavers. You sense it. Their fear, their desperation. The power they wield is drawn from secrecy, and secrecy cannot withstand the force of revelation. Hermes once wrote, "When truth is known, illusion collapses." You understand this now, feeling the seal give way, splintering under the weight of its own deception. The Council, once untouchable, now stands exposed, its foundation cracked, its influence threatened. Ahead lies the celestial alignment foretold, a prophecy that promises the unraveling of time itself, where the fourth seal trembles in anticipation. The path forward is set. The seal awaits its breaking. The sky was different now. Stars that once flickered distantly now pulsed with a rhythm that resonated deep within your spirit. Hermetic texts spoke of this event, the celestial alignment, a convergence of cosmic forces that would ripple through the very fabric of reality. It was not merely a shift in the heavens, but a synchronization of realms, a bridge between the seen and the unseen. With it, the fourth seal trembles, its bindings loosening with every passing moment. You stand beneath the night sky, its vastness stretching beyond mortal comprehension. Stars glimmer in patterns unseen for millennia, alignments foretold in the emerald tablets and whispered among the sages of Atlantis. The Great Pyramid hums with resonance, its stones vibrating with an energy that bleeds into the air. The alignment was more than celestial, it was spiritual, connecting consciousness across the ages. In the Hermetic teachings, it was written, "When the heavens align, the veil shall thin, and the secrets of the eternal shall be revealed." You feel it, pulsing through your veins, drawing you closer to the truth long buried. The stars shift, aligning with the constellations of the ancient orders, Orion, Sirius, and the Pleiades, each one resonating with frequencies that unlock the hidden knowledge of the soul. Suddenly, the ground beneath you shudders. Energy spills from the sky, spiraling down like threads of light, weaving through the ley lines of the earth. The Sphinx awakens, its eyes glowing with emerald fire, casting beams of light that intersect with the Great Pyramid's apex. The fourth seal pulses in rhythm with the celestial dance, its chains splintering one by one. You close your eyes, and the vision comes, a door opening in the ether, flanked by guardians of light, their wings shimmering with celestial fire. They nod, acknowledging your presence. The time has come. Their voices whisper in unison. You step forward, the Hermetic key burning bright within you, its glow resonating with the stars above. But before you can cross the threshold, the light fades. The alignment shifts, and the celestial gates close. The path forward is clear, yet shrouded in shadow. The fourth seal remains, its fractures deepening, awaiting the final touch to shatter its hold. The journey now leads to the fourth seal, the fall of the black sun, where darkness and light shall converge, and secrets buried since the dawn of time will claw their way back to the surface. The seal beckons. The stars had whispered of its return. The black sun, an omen spoken of in Hermetic circles and etched into the walls of forgotten temples. It was more than a celestial anomaly. It was a convergence of shadow and light, an eclipse of consciousness that obscured truth with illusion. Hermetic texts warned, "When the black sun rises, the hearts of men shall be shrouded, and the eyes of the blind shall see only darkness." But with the fourth seal cracking, its dominion was beginning to crumble. You stand at the edge of the great desert, where the sands swirl with energies unseen by mortal eyes. Above, the sky darkens, not with clouds, but with a shadow that swallows light. The black sun emerges, its surface swirling with symbols of ancient power, pulsating with vibrations that distort reality. The world grows silent, heavy, as if time itself holds its breath. Hermetic teachings had spoken of this moment. He who walks in light shall unmask the shadow. You feel it resonate within you, the Hermetic key pulsing with energy, as it responds to the presence of the eclipse. Shadows stretch across the land, crawling like living things, reaching for the minds of those unguarded. Fear spikes in the hearts of many, their thoughts clouded, their visions blurred. But you see through it. The key burns bright within your spirit, casting light that slices through the darkness. You raise your hand, and symbols flare to life, swirling in patterns that mirror the stars above. The shadows recoil, hissing as light pierces their form. The black sun trembles, its surface cracking like glass, spilling beams of light that scatter across the horizon. With each fracture, the veil lifts. The illusions that once shrouded reality begin to fall away. Truth spills forth. Long-buried histories, secret covenants, hidden counsels. The black sun flickers, its power waning as the fourth seal gives way. The Hermetic key hums with completion, its resonance breaking the final threads of darkness that held the eclipse in place. The black sun shatters, fragments of shadow spiraling back into the ether. Light floods the land, illuminating pathways once hidden, revealing the truth of ancient control. But with revelation comes consequence. The fifth seal stirs now, its presence calling from the depths of time. The air was still, heavy with anticipation. The final seal, the culmination of prophecy and destiny, lay before you. Hermetic texts spoke of it only in whispers, calling it the Eye of Yeshua, the gateway to ascension, and the unification of spirit and flesh. It was not bound by stone or scripture, but by consciousness itself, woven through the fabric of existence since the dawn of creation. You find yourself standing at the edge of a great expanse, a shimmering portal suspended in midair, pulsing with radiant light. Its surface ripples with symbols ancient and divine, Atlantean glyphs, Hermetic spirals, and the sacred tetragrammaton glowing with ethereal fire. It is the gateway spoken of by Hermes. He who sees through the eye shall know the name unspoken, the path unwritten. The Hermetic key pulses within your spirit, responding to the resonance of the portal. As you step forward, the light intensifies, enveloping you in warmth and clarity. Visions flicker before your eyes. Yeshua walking upon the waters, speaking truths that rippled through time. His words echo softly. I am the way, the truth, and the life. It is not just scripture, it is a map, a code hidden within the seal itself. Your hand reaches out, touching the surface of the portal. The light flares, and the world dissolves. You are no longer bound by the constraints of flesh or time. You are everywhere and nowhere, stretched across the infinite thread of existence. Stars swirl around you, planets spin in perfect harmony, and the light of creation pulses with every heartbeat. In the center of this celestial expanse, you see it, the Eye of Yeshua, opening like the petals of a flower, revealing layers of light and understanding. It pulses with truth, vibrating with the frequencies of compassion, unity, and infinite awareness. The final seal cracks, splintering with a surge of light that spills across the universe, unbinding the last of the illusions that held humanity captive. You feel it, an awakening rippling across the earth, hearts and minds stirring from their slumber. The seven seals are shattered, the illusions broken, the path to ascension revealed. But with this revelation comes a whisper of warning. To awaken is to witness, and to witness is to be called. The eye of Yeshua closes, but its light remains within you, a beacon that cannot be extinguished. The journey is not over, it has just begun. You stand now as a harbinger of truth, a bearer of light, ready to guide those who still wander in the shadows.
If you have come this far, it is crucial that you watch this next video here. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart, for only the true chosen ones can handle this video. If you would like to also donate to help keep the channel going, our Buy Me a Coffee link will be in the description.